Est-ce que ce serait possible de rentrer pour écouter de la musique?
Oui. Oui. Pourquoi tu me regardes pas dans les yeux?
Je n'ai pas le droit de regarder l'ensemble dans les yeux. J'aimerais savoir comment c'est d'être comme les autres.
Hi, my name is Luzer Twersky. I'm an actor in the film Félix and Meira, and welcome to CLAP.CH. Actually, he saw a film that I did a couple of years ago, a short film called Where is Joel Baum? One of the producers of this film, of Félix and Meira, saw that film at a film festival in Montreal, and she liked me, so she sent me a Facebook message. Sent me a message on Facebook saying, hey, you know, we're doing this film, would you like to, you know, would like to meet with you about it. And I thought it was, you know, can I say bullshit on TV? Yeah. So I thought it was bullshit, like just some girl that messaged me on Facebook about a film. I'm like, whatever. So I met with her, and we had lunch. She came with Maxime, and I think Sylvain was there too, the other producer. And I thought it was a joke, so we just had wine and pizza, and I got drunk, and I was just telling jokes and, you know, flirting with Nancy. And then I went home, and I was like, all right, that was fun. And I didn't think anything of it. And then a couple of weeks later, they asked me to meet and to do to tape me for the part. And they taped me with Martin. And 2 days later, he told me I got the part. So basically, I mean, it kind of happened because they saw the other film that I did, where I also played a Hasidic Jew, and then they cast me in this one. Well, I felt like I could play it because my background, I used to be a Hasidic Jew. I was raised as a Hasidic Jew. So I can understand that struggle. I can understand the emotional conflict of that. And I mean, to be honest, I mean, I was happy someone gave me a film role. I mean, I'm still at the beginning of my career, you know. I hope there are many things to follow. But I was very, very lucky that something as good as this came to someone who was like me. And that at the time I was, you know, not in a very high position as an actor. And people at that level don't get offers for films like this. I was very, very lucky that they chose me. But you know, apparently they thought I was good, you know?
Yeah.
And the script was fantastic. The script was very good.
You say you used to be Hasidic.
Yeah.
You are not anymore?
No, not anymore. Bacon and black chicks, man. That's a joke. Yeah. No, I mean, it just wasn't working for me. I mean, yeah, of course, bacon. I love bacon. What can I say? But I don't believe in God. I don't believe in religion. I think religion is a horrible thing. I think it makes people happy, but so does alcohol. And it wasn't working for me. It wasn't making me happy. It wasn't making me comfortable. And there were just too many things that I wanted to do in life that I felt like I couldn't do if I stayed in that place. So I decided to leave.
Ça te va bien?
Stimmt nicht.
Yeah. Actually, I mean, the girl who played Meira, she has played a Hasidic Jew before in Fill the Void, a movie that came out like in 2012. But she didn't have to speak Yiddish in that movie. So we actually spent a couple of weeks. She came to Los Angeles. She wasn't already in Los Angeles, but we spent a lot of time teaching her Yiddish and teaching her how to speak like a Hasidic Jew. And we talked about the character a lot, and we did a lot of, she did a lot of good research. And I helped her as much as I could to try to get, you know, understand the character and understand the language, yeah. I actually, I needed to pee really badly that day, so I didn't pee all day. So I actually held my pee in just to make me more on edge and, you know, more angry. So like part of the, I don't know if that's the take they use in the film, but one of the takes, we've done like so many takes of that, like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 or something, and I think there's, in Yiddish, they probably cut that out, but there was one take where I like yelled in Yiddish, you know, I don't want to do another take of this fucking shitty scene, I don't want to do this again. So instead of like yelling the lines, I was yelling something else. I need to pee, and I need to, like, I just want to, so I used some tricks to get into that place. And the other funny thing about that is that we shot that in the Hasidic community in New York. And we didn't have a large crew, there were no like trucks and big lights. So, and this Hasidic woman walked by and she saw me yelling at this guy in Yiddish, and she thought I was Hasidic. So she started yelling for help. She thought it was real. You know, they thought it was a real fight. They didn't even notice the camera and everything. They thought it was a real fight, and she started calling for help. And we told her, oh, don't worry, it's just a movie. No, I don't think he has any doubt about his faith. I don't think he's a typical Hasidic Jew, because I don't think that in the Hasidic community it would happen like that. I don't think a regular Hasidic Jew would be okay and go talk to Félix and tell him, as long as you take care of my ex-wife, you know, I'm happy. That wouldn't happen. So I think in that way he's a little outside of the box, but I don't think that he questions his faith in any way. I think he's a solid Jew. You know, he's very religious, yeah. Maxime is he's very, as far as the actors go, he's pretty hands-off. Like, he trusts his actors. I mean, that's how I felt. I felt like once he decided that I am the right person, the right actor to play that part, he doesn't say anything. He wouldn't really give a lot of direction, unless he wants something to change. Like, you know, he would be angry or be mellow or say it quiet or stuff like that. But he was pretty hands-off. He's very easy. He's very easy. I mean, not a lot, because I think the film is, the script is very low on dialogue. The entire movie is not a lot of dialogue in it. So he didn't, he didn't want a lot of dialogue, and he did let us. I think there are a lot of parts that he let us like improvise a little bit. But it was also difficult because I was the only one on set who was a native Yiddish speaker. So I couldn't really improvise with Hadass, the girl who plays Meira, because if I start improvising in Yiddish, she wouldn't know what to say because she doesn't speak Yiddish. So there was technically there wasn't a possibility to play around with that a little too much. But I think I felt like I had the freedom to like take it a little bit differently, and I never stick to the script. Maybe other directors shouldn't hear that, but I never stick to the script. I always I get lost in the character and I just say whatever comes out. But I always do at least one take on script, and then the rest of them I just let loose. No, I didn't know them at all. I mean, I didn't know Martin at all. I never heard of him. But Hadass, I knew. I didn't know her personally, but it's funny because when I auditioned for this part, when I did the taping in New York, when they came to see me, I had just seen her previous film, the one that she won Venice and all these awards for. I just seen Fill the Void, and I was in awe of her. I was like, wow. I thought she was amazing. And then when I found out that she's going to play my wife, I was working at a clothing store in New York, a men's clothing store, before I did this film, and I was alone in the store. And when I saw the email that she's going to play my wife, I locked the door and I went, ah! I was like super excited. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. And she was amazing to work with. I love her to death. I really love her. She's a great, great person. And I don't have to fake that. And I know a lot of Hollywood people, it's like, oh my God, yeah, Brad Pitt is so nice, and you know, George Clooney is so nice, or like, oh, Nicole Kidman was wonderful to work with. I really mean that. She is one of my favorite people in the world.
Shabbos. Malke, kannst du please aufhören?
Problem die Neues, was macht.
I'm very happy with it. I'm actually, my motto in life is keep your expectations low and your standards high. You know, I have very high standards, but I don't expect much. So you walk into any film, and the script could be amazing, but then the director or the editor could still screw it up. So when you make a film, you never know what it's going to look like. So I always keep my expectations low. I try to do the best job I can. I try to interpret the script as best as I can, and then I walk away and I'm like, I don't care, because it's out of my hands. And when I first saw the film, before it came out in theaters or festivals, they sent me a copy emailed me a copy, and the first time I watched it, I cried. I was very, very proud. I mean, I cried tears of joy. I'm very proud of it. I think Maxime did a fantastic job. I couldn't have seen it, I couldn't have imagined how well it was going to look. Sarah Mishara, the cinematographer, did a fantastic job. I mean, everyone, it came together beautifully. I mean, and I saw the film, and I'm very proud of it. If this is the last movie I'll ever make, I'm fine with that. I'm okay being remembered for that. I wasn't there. I went home early. I wasn't there. I wasn't in Torino. I wasn't at any of the award shows. I missed everything. But I have my trophy. I have my Torino trophy. I don't know. I think it's I always wanted to be the center of attention. I mean, maybe that's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing. But I've always been a performer. Even as a child, I wasn't the class clown, but in the family, I was always like the one with always stick out and tell a story. And I've always been a storyteller. I've always loved stories, making them up, or reading them, or watching them. I mean, I didn't watch TV growing up. I didn't watch movies growing up, because it wasn't allowed in our community. But I've always been a storyteller, and I've always been a performer, and I've always liked to have an audience. And I think acting is just another branch of that, of being a performer and being a storyteller. But the other part of it is also that when you're a storyteller and you're alone on stage telling a story to the audience, if you're not very good at it, they judge you. But if you're an actor and you're interpreting someone else's work, and it doesn't look very good, you can always blame someone else. Like, well, the director sucked, or like the camera guy was bad, or the writing was bad. So as an actor, I feel like there's less responsibility on me. I just have to be as good as I can. If it doesn't come out well, then maybe it wasn't my fault. But if it's just you on stage alone, telling a story, then if you screw up, then you're bad. Well, but I'm always going to be a performer. I think I can't get that out of me. It's an illness I have. I think it's both. I think there's certainly a part of cinema that's purely entertaining, and I watch those movies. I watch the action movies and the silly movies, because sometimes you just want to go to a cinema and just like watch something stupid and forget about everything else. And I think the other part of cinema, the activism part of cinema, or the engine for change with cinema, is also a combination. It's entertaining activism. That's what it really is. Because even documentaries, like documentaries are never like 100% true, because they're edited, for dramatic effect. Because nobody can sit for 2 hours or an hour and a half in a cinema and watch a boring documentary. So there's a talent in making good documentary. And because it's edited for dramatic effect, of course, it's not really a documentary. But I think that cinema is both. I think for like this movie, I think Félix and Meira, for example, is I think it's entertaining, but it's one of those films that's both entertaining and it's also it has a powerful social message. You know, about love, about tolerance, about unhappiness, about finding yourself, and you know. I think cinema, I said it yesterday at the Q&A, I think cinema is probably the most powerful engine for social change that we have in the world. You know, it can really, really change a lot of things, you know, because it's entertaining. Because it's entertaining, people forget that they're being lectured, you know. So you can put like little lectures in subtlety, you can put it subtly into a movie, and people will forget what they learn. I think that it's going to change. It changes racism. It changes the way we look at war. It changes the way we look at peace. It changes the way we look at homosexuality. You know, it changes the way we look at women. It changes a lot of things, and it's subtle. It's small, and it's very powerful because people will always look for entertainment, and I think it's the responsibility of filmmakers and actors to put important messages into their art. The latest that I saw that I really liked, I actually watched Nightcrawler yesterday.
All right.
With Jake Gyllenhaal, and it's very good. It's also the creepiest thing I have ever seen in my life. It's so demented, and I don't know if you've seen it. Nightcrawler. The ending, I mean, you would think, like, you keep watching the movie and you're hoping that at the end something bad happens to him or he changes, and he doesn't. And it just leaves you with such a feeling, but it's very powerful. It's incredibly well made. It's a very well made movie, and I love Dan Gilroy. I think he did Michael Clayton too. So he's obviously very good at writing these, you know, morally questionable characters. And it was a very good movie. I liked it a lot. And the other one I saw before that I really liked recently was Enough Said, which with Julia Louis-Dreyfus and James Gandolfini.
All right.
You know,
I see.
that's one of the best comedies I've seen in recent years. You know, but you want to know my all-time favorite movie?
Yeah.
The Big Lebowski.
All right.
Yeah.
Good choice.
That's my favorite movie of all time.
Félix!
Je müsst doch zusammen.
Ich weiß mehr nicht, wie ich bin.
Wir müssen schon verstehen, was dies ist in so Leben.
Our love is a river long, the best
Das Wort am Arm schaut dir weg.
rounds.
Sie ist da, wo du willst.
Coming back
Meins.
to you.
Dagens. In so Tachtes.
I'm happy, nothing's going to stop me. I'm making my way home. I'm making my way